160 players have signed up for this week's AI-controlled 5 vs 5 deathmatch. The characters are Diamond 1 rank with full winged character stars, their passive and active abilities are at level 30, and they don't have any weapons or equipment. The winners will take home in-game prizes, and their name is engraved on the tournament trophy alongside the previous winners. The match commentators shall be Castellan Creed and myself. So without further ado, let the games begin! How excited are you for the tournament today, Creed?
Excited? Are you kidding me, Jace? I'm so pumped! I almost brought a Baneblade to the commentary booth! This tournament is going to be a tactical masterpiece. Plus, nothing says good entertainment like watching someone get blown to bits in the name of strategy. Let's get the show on the road!
Let's see how the teams are shaping up. In this tournament, we've separated the first round teams by alliance, so I'm curious to see who comes out on top. We have 69 Xenos, 55 Imperial, and 36 Chaos characters selected.
With all those contenders, this is shaping up to be a bloodbath of galactic proportions. I'm already imagining the glorious matches, the Imperials holding the line, the Xenos getting all sneaky, and Chaos, well, just being chaos. Let's kick off this first round and see which team brings their A-game, or their biggest explosion. Let's dive into the carnage.
It's time for the December 2024 Tacticus Deathmatch Tournament. Match 1 sees Xenos against Xenos, as the champions from Glaykit take on the champions from Xerx. Who's your tip for the match, Creed?
The Necron dominance of Glaykit's team, coupled with the labyrinthine terrain of their planet, likely tilts the match in their favor. Their endurance and ambush tactics could outlast Xerx's aggression, but this is going to be close.
And we're off. Deathleaper proudly leads the Glaykit line, but that makes him a target for the whole Xerx team. This doesn't seem like a smart thing to do, and he falls to first blood.
Unbelievable.
This is definitely a slow-burning match.
You'd think they'd learn not to stand there by now.
Glaykit sets himself up into position, surrounding Wing Prime, who retaliates by dropping Tyranids on the field. Jane Zar and Morgan Ra combine to take out Scarabs, then Callum Smith's Shadow Sun finishes Aleph Null. The Necrons continue to beat Wing Prime up, but he shrugs off their attacks, before spawning more and more Tyranids on the field.
Relentless aggression. Amazing.
Tank Smasher takes down Immospec, and Jane Zar, Morgan Ra and Shadow Sun combine again to finish off Anifet. Onshi tries one last-ditch effort to finish Wing Prime, but fails.
Well, you can't fault them for trying, even if it failed miserably.
And it's the fourth kill of the match by Shadow Sun, and the first match is over.
Deathleaper leading the charge and eating first blood. Classic rookie mistake. Gotta admire the confidence though. And Winged Prime turning into a Tyranid factory. That's some next level teamwork, even if it's more quantity over quality. Jane Zar, Morgan Ra, and Shadowson really delivered a masterclass in focus fire, but Shadowson steals the show with 4 kills.
That was a great first match, Creed, and match 2 sees our first Imperial team, Gamma X, going against another Xenos team, Drukit, and there's none other than our very own Castellan Creed going up in this match with Vindicta, 2 heroes from our very impressive deathmatch trailer.
Oh, now this is going to be a proper slugfest. Gamma X has an all-star Imperial lineup. Vindicta alone are worth the price of admission, but this match will come down to whether Gamma X can withstand Drukit's sneaky ambushes.
The match begins, and both sides slowly move into the middle of the map. Revas drops her drones and goes into Overwatch, and Tyrant Guard tickles Vindicta. Then Varro and Vindicta light up the field with lightning and fire, and Creed sends Sergeant Kell to absorb Revas' Overwatch, allowing his Cadians and Val to do some damage.
That's the kind of maneuver that wins wars, or at least matches.
First blood goes to Varro, who plunges Zybia into the water, and Creed takes down the beastly Tyrant Guard.
They call me a god!
The red team maneuver around, but Snotflogga is stuck and separated from his team. Vindicta makes utmost pay for that with more fire.
It's getting hot in here!
And Varro strikes again as Revas falls, and finally Snotflogga joins the fight, but he's standing on the ice, and that's a bad idea as Thaddeus blows it out from underneath him.
Gamma X came in swinging, and oh boy did they deliver. Varro Tagurius turning the tide, literally, by tossing Zibia into the drink. That's some classic Psyker showmanship. Sergeant Kell's sacrifice to soak up Ravis' Overwatch? Well, sometimes I have to sacrifice pawns to keep the kings and queens in play.
Match 3 has more Imperial might as Lavinate goes against the first Chaos team, Viraxis Amber.
Now this is a fiery matchup. Imperial Grit versus the Dark Forces of Chaos. Lava Mate boasts a terrifyingly balanced team with Ragnar's berserker ferocity and Ariak's unshakable defense, but Garaxus Amber will be trying to disorient the battlefield with Typhus spreading plagues and Pastilion sowing corruption. This fight will be all about whether Lava Mate's discipline can overcome Chaos's unbridled carnage.
And we're off. Aryak deep dives into the Chaos team as the rest of the Imperials line up behind him, but he is a rock who absorbs it all.
I haven't seen a charge like that since the Battle of Cadia.
Exeter Rogue is aggressive and starts swinging, then Aryak hammers Thaumachus, and Thaumachus falls first to Ragnar, with Yazagor joining his thousand-son brother being turned to dust by Exeter Rogue. The remaining Chaos are struggling to make a dent in the Imperials.
I don't think the Chaos team has enough filth in the tank to take down the Admex.
Exeter Rogue keeps swinging around, and Asmodee brings salvation to Angrax and smites him down.
Let's go Imperials! Let's go Imperials!
Again, the Imperials shrug off the Death Guard. There are so many Skitarii on the field and they're all having a shot at the Chaos team. And Aryak finishes off Castilian, but his corpse explodes and takes Ragnar with him.
Yuck!
There are a lot of Imperials on very little health now. Typhus does a 2-for-1 as Asmodee and Aryak fall, but he faces a lot of Mechanicum here, and it's too much as Exeter Rowe finishes him off.
Wow! Even with members of the #1 Chaos team, Death Guard in the midst! They couldn't punch through Ariak's shield wall. He was a true Imperial bulwark. What a unit. Typhus did get a heroic late double kill with his scythe, but Lava Mate stands victorious, although it was closer than they'd like.
There's more Xenos and Imperials in match 4 as Tjuchter faces Malbybrius's Bastion 11.
Ah, a true clash as the Xenos bring tactical finesse, terrifying mobility, and ancient resilience to the field. And I can't wait to see what our newest champion, Parasite of Mortrex, brings to the battle. He is a real wildcard. While the Imperials, led by my hero, Marneus Calgar, radiate unbreakable resolve. Brother Burchard is another key figure in the automated tournament, so keep an eye on him.
Athana and Parasite are straight into the enemy, and as usual, those first in are first out, as Incisors and Titus take down Athana. Yarrick calls for some Cadian backup, and Parasite of Mortrex laughs off Brother Butcher's Fragstorm grenades. Chosul then tries, but fails to take down Yarrick. Before we see Parasite blowing Calgar back a space and dropping a Ripper there. How did he move him?
Incredible! I love this new champion!
The match has got a bit scrappy now, with champions split all over the field. And Parasite takes down Yarrick, replacing his corpse with another Ripper. Incisors and Titus combine again to take down Darkstrider.
Outrageous!
And Parasite charges over to try and get some revenge. But the same pairing take him down too.
It's not looking good for Xenos!
Chosul hasn't really managed to get his drones out, and Makotep isn't helping much as he has the weakest melee attack in the game. Chosul and Calgar punch each other and both fall down.
Delicious!
And Titus brings all his Space Marine 2 experience to the match and gets his 4th kill and seals the victory.
Ah, the Parasite of Mortrex! I'm already a fan. Blowing Calgar back and leaving a Ripper? That's what I call creative repositioning. The Imperium once again proves its dominance. Outstanding match.
It's a clash of chaos in match 5 as Krogar Vermilion take on Caldel Pus.
Now this is what Chaos thrives on. Infighting and mayhem. Krogar Vermilion blending tactical sorcery with raw bloodlust. Ahriman's psychic prowess could prove decisive in this battle. Caldel Pus counters with unrelenting fury and unholy resilience. This is going to be pure chaos. So let's see how the warp-fueled carnage plays out.
The match begins and Harkin leads out from the front.
He is so crazy, isn't he?
But as with all deep diving champions, he dies first to Yazagor.
Well, crazy or just stupid.
Archimatos and Abraxas then fill the battlefield with spawns.
I can't see what's going on.
Wow, there are so many spawns on the battlefield and Ahriman is just helping to make more and more.
We knew it would be chaos when chaos fights chaos.
Volk is killing all the spawns, that's what's going on.
I don't even think the action replay system can handle this much action on the field. Are my eyes lagging, or is it just my brain?
Ascor then follows up by killing Yazagor.
This match might never actually end at this rate. Shall we just call it a draw and put them both out?
More spawns are killed, and then Abaddon kills Archimatos.
Brilliant shot!
Ahriman psychically destroys Maladis and Abaddon with one foul smite.
Dumb, another one bites the dust.
And Volk goes aggressive on the Psychers, but Ascor comes back to beat him back to the warp. Herodias and his minions finally take down Ahriman.
You didn't see that one coming, did you, son of Magnus?
It's now just a 2-on-1 and Herodias is low health. But Abraxas finishes the match as Herodias falls.
Great match! A good warning, though, for those of you thinking of taking deep diving champions into guild wars. They dive in and die. Don't do it. That match was my kind of visual chaos, though. With so many spawns on the battlefield at one point, I thought we were going to run out of space. Ari man, though, what a star. He really is the blue and gold icing on the warp cake.
Yet again, it's Xenos against Imperials as Bloviate face off against Ritsonius, Beta 9.
With Neurothrope and Eldrion on one side, facing off against Njal and Mephiston on the other, the psychic storms are sure to rage. And we can't forget about Isabella. Oh, that white dress and graceful elegance, like Princess Leia diving down a garbage chute.
And the match starts with a lot of posturing and maneuvering by both sides, and Niall conjuring up a psychic ice storm. Mephiston does some fancy footwork, and Brother Jaeger's challenged the Patrimind to a duel. The Ark grapples over Neurothrope's head, and Isabella tries to follow him. We saw how badly that went in an earlier match. Neurothrope infects Kiark with a neuroparasite, while the Patrimind and Jaeger continue their duel. Everyone else has just left them alone to get on with it. No, wait, Niall has decided to help Jaeger, and Jaeger definitely doesn't need it. The Ark takes a high ground and knocks Holland over, but he gets straight back up out of his ambush. Isabella falls. Neurothrope follows up with a double parasite kill.
No, I think it was Neurothrope killing Kiark and Eldrion killing Mephiston. Either way, 3 Imperial kills in quick succession has really turned this match on its head.
Another kill for Eldrion as Niall falls. Brother Jaeger takes a position on top of the mountain and holds firm. He really is one of my favourite champions in this game, but the odds are completely stacked against him here. It's 4 champions versus 1, and an abomination on the Xenos side too. There isn't really a chance for him, but at least he's going out swinging. But it's not enough as Boss Golgorts finishes him off.
Jace, that wasn't Boss Golgorts. It was Snotflogga. How did he end up on the field?
Creed, don't talk nonsense. Of course it was Golgorts. With all the officials here, how could a mistake like that happen? It simply can't.
Well, viewers, we know what we saw, didn't we? It's a shame we don't have an action replay system in play here. Either way, Brother Jaeger was my champion of that match. Such poise, parrying, and perfect presence. He deserved to win, but Bloviate takes it.
It's another Imperial face-off as Husketri 5 comes up against Orula 3 in match 7.
Can we make sure that we get the correct characters on the field this time around? This is going to be a clash of the Titans here.
The match begins and the Exeter Row rushes the bridge and hits Varro in the first move.
They'll feel that in the warp.
But that breachhead is breached as Imperials all combine to take him down. In size, it's getting the final blow. The Husketri 5 team are split up and it's not looking in good shape, being stuck on the bridge at the top and Vitruvius getting lost down bottom.
I hope he backed up his data because I'm about to reboot him the hard way. Spoiler alert, it's hitting him even harder.
Varro finishes Helbrecht, who swings in anger at Titus, but Incisors is there to keep Titus alive. Meanwhile, Creed cleans up Vitruvius 1-on-1 at the bottom of the map, and Varro keeps pounding them from the side, and Ulf falls next. Ancient Thoriad is the last man standing.
I really hate these Imperial versus Imperial matchups. No one really wins. Well, except the Chaos Gods.
I think it's clear to see who's going to win this match though, and it isn't Ancient Thoriad. He does take Titus down, but Varro finishes off this man-in-the-match performance and kills Thoriad.
Exeter Row's bold rush to the bridge was a valiant opening, but teamwork from Orula 3 quickly turned it into a trap. Varro Tagurius rained down relentless firepower, and his unstoppable momentum secured victory. A really intriguing match.
At the halfway point in this round, it's the Xenos Malarkey against the Imperials Chintidor Forge 6.
Sounds like we're in for a wild ride. On one side, we've got Snotflogga, an orc who probably thinks strategy is just hitting harder. And on the other, Sword Brother Godswill, who likely recites battle prayers louder than the gunfire. If this match doesn't end with someone yelling, "Wah!" or "For the Emperor" at maximum volume, I'll be disappointed.
The match begins and there's a lot of red on the Imperial side.
Ah, red armor, because nothing says subtle on the battlefield like dressing like a walking target. The enemy can't miss them.
It's bringing its hammers and nanites into Zybia's head, and then Sarkol then follows up to kill Thutmose. Zybia gets back up and taunts Matanio.
That's not a good idea. I half expect Korn to send them a recruitment letter. I'm hoping that's part of the strategy. She's no Isabella, that's for sure.
Nope, and she pays for it, from Actus taking her down and sending the Grot tank fleeing. The orcs then combine to kill Rosita, but I really think it might be too little too late, as there's 4 Imperials and 3 Xenos. And Sarkol's in no mood to mess around today and finishes Snotflog in revenge.
So good!
Matanio and his flyboys then protect Sarkwell by smashing Gibboscraps, and Actus unbelievably gets his second kill of the game, and the match is over.
Who would have thought a healing toaster on a team with no electronic bread would actually do something? And Sibia taunting Mataneo! That's like poking a hive tyrant with a stick. The Imperials looked unstoppable here, bringing down the hammer and showing real red discipline.
In match 9, it's the Xenos Skunnert team versus Chaos of Momon Viridian.
This is going to be a swampy mess of ambushes and chaos-fueled mayhem. On one side, we've got Death Leaper ready to pop out of nowhere, and on the other, Typhus probably spreading more diseases than an unclean Grox farm. I just hope someone brought their swamp boots and a plan, otherwise Mom and Viridian are gonna walk it. Before this match starts, you should really pause the highlights, go and get some lovely Cadian Brew or Mjolnir, and then we can dive right on into it.
This is definitely going to be an interesting match. I really want to see some chaos progressing to the next round, and there's a lot of preparation work ongoing here. It looks to be a real strategic battle ahead. Finally things are kicking off, and the mechanical pairing of Immospec and Snapareka take down Themacus. Immospec landing the killing blow. Death Leaper leeches health back off Pastilian.
That will taste nasty.
3 of the Scunnert team do combine to take down Pastilian. Oh no, not again. Pastilian has exploded in a burst of filth. Typhus and Archimatos combine to take down Immospec, and the 3 Scunnert teammates have fallen in quick succession. This leaves a 2v3, and I wouldn't want to be the 2. Incredibly, they're going on the offensive. Typhus doesn't make the same mistake though, and finishes on She. Then Angrax rolls over and thwacks Snapareka out of existence.
Wow, Death Leaper draining health from Pastilian? Brave or foolish? Either way, I hope he had some purity seals handy. I wouldn't wish Nurgle's leftovers on anyone. That late game offensive from the Xenos? Bold, reckless, and surprisingly effective for about 5 seconds. Typhus and Angrax showing them how it's done in the end, rolling over the survivors like a Bane blade at full throttle. You can't fault Chaos for knowing how to clean up a mess, even if they're the ones who made it in the first place.
In match 10, it's another Chaos team, Hezban Black, against the Imperials of Denker Syria 1.
This is shaping up to be a true clash of dark sorcery and Fortress World grit. On one side, we've got Hezban's eternal darkness and whispers that drive you mad, and on the other, Denkosira's orbital defenses and fortified bastions. I just hope the players have more fight in them than vowels in their usernames, because this could get messy.
Hezban Black start and move into position. Niall then lights them all up, but look at how little damage he does.
He might be Imperial, but he really is useless, isn't he?
Brother Jaeger hits Karn with a huge attack, and as he falls, it's a blow to Chaos Hopes. They move up in response, but not really big damages.
Losing Karn might be the turning point of this match already.
The Imperials press the advantage. Ragnar takes down a festering Poxwalker, and Volk is dispatched again by Brother Jaeger.
Jaeger's really working hard to win this match.
The Chaos team are focusing too heavily on clearing out the swarms. This is why characters with swarm skills are so deadly for new players. It is a heavyweight battle though. Brother Jaeger engages Corodius in a fight to the death. Amazingly though, it's Corodius who comes out on top of that duel. The Imperials then do some really good focus fire to take down Maladis, with Brother Butcher getting the last blow. It's 2v4 now, and it's certainly not looking good for the team from Hezban Black. With so many resilient characters and swarms, it will take a while to get through. Tangida brings down Abaddon.
Great teamwork though. I love this.
Niall tickles Corodius, and then Ragnar finishes him off.
Niall's tickling the Chaos team. It's almost like he's trying to give them a fair chance. Someone send that psyker back to the training yard. With Karn going down so early, it was a real massive blow to Chaos Hopes. You can't just replace a man who swings harder than an Ogren at an orc festival. Brother Jaeger, though, what a workhorse. He's practically carrying the team on his back. A strong victory for Denkosira 1.
In match 11, it's a Xenos from Quines against yet another Chaos team, Kragast Tartan.
This one's going to be wild. On one side, you've got Xenos elegance and precision, and on the other, pure chaos. Athena and Anshi might be tactical geniuses, but can they outwit Karn, who solves all his problems by hitting them harder? My money's on some beautiful carnage.
Athena is straight into the enemy and really tries to take down Karn. Karn barges Athena out of his way and absolutely rips Anufet apart. This means that Karn is now low health and separated in the enemy ranks like all true World Eater captains, but it's Shosil's drone that finishes him off.
This is a brutal match so far.
The Chaos team focus down the spawns from the Xenos team. The Xenos team then turn their fire onto Rask in a masterclass of teamwork and focused fire. And again, it's Shosil's drone that gets another kill, while Toth finishes off Athena. The Xenos team turn around to protect Shosil's position, and Macers fall, and I don't even know who got the last kill there. It's a 3v2 with a lot of heals on the Chaos side. This is going to be a brilliant finish, but I just can't see how they're going to get up to reach Shosil though. They are too slow.
The problem for Chaos is that they just aren't doing any damage.
Josel's drones then do take down Toth, but Rotbone revives him. Surely the healer Rotbone should always be the primary target. You cannot leave that Firesight marksman on a hill above the battlefield. Onshi inspires Aleph Null to greatness, which allows him to drop another Scarab on the field. However, that is quickly dispatched by the Chaos team, and Onshi is able to go over and finally finish the Dusk-encased Thousand Suns armor. I really think the end is near now. Rotbone goes on the aggressive, but it's too little, too late, and Aleph Null gets a final kill.
Karn kicking things off with his signature move, diving headfirst into the enemy ranks like a one-man wrecking ball. But once he was isolated, even the World Eater couldn't withstand the combined firepower, especially with Shosil's drone taking him down like a surgical strike. That marksman is a menace. Leave him unchecked, and you're asking for trouble. Rob White's Shosil was easily man of the match, but the whole Xenos team played a tactical masterpiece. This was definitely one for the tacticians.
In match 12, the Chaos planet of Titarius Red clashes with the Xenos planet of Erenaceus.
This is going to be an absolute bloodbath. On one side, Chaos is bringing the fury with Rask and Rotbone, while the Xenos from Erenaceus will be relying on Deathleaper's sneakiness and Snappereka's raw power. Honestly, if there aren't piles of bodies and broken terrain by the end of this, I'll be disappointed.
The match kicks off, and interestingly, it's another Chaos team that has Toth and Rotbone on the same side. So let's see if it's more successful than the last time they fought. Snappereka takes Macer low, and it's not a good idea because he deals more damage the lower he is. Rotbone does heal him a bit, then Macer charges forward. The Xenos then start spraying their shots all over the place, and without the quality focus fire that we saw from the Planet of Twins, they are not taking anyone down. Finally, 30 seconds into this match, we have our first kill, as Rask takes down Deathleaper. Macer runs around the back of the Xenos team and knocks Holland on his butt, but he gets quickly back up with his ambush trait, and then Snappereka finally takes Macer down. The World Eater Macer has played a big part in this game so far. Could this be a turning point here? And I really don't know which way this will go.
Me neither, this is so close, Jace!
Then the Xenos team spin around the back, and Abraxas falls to 1 health but survives. That was an amazing play. Abraxas is then surrounded by the other Chaos. Rask shields him, Rotbone heals him, and Toth shakes some dust on his head. Holland and Snappereka have taken a position on this hillside, but that does leave the Pattermine a bit isolated. However, he's not the focus, as Rask burns Holland to a crisp and tips the match in Chaos' favour. The Xenos team have another go at Abraxas, but he will just not fall, and the failure is starting to cause the Xenos team too many problems, as the Pattermine is next to go down, with G. Shizmad's Rask picking up his 3rd kill in the game.
Titarius Red are looking incredibly strong.
Silver Slug's Abraxas is taken down to what looks like half a point of health by Snappereka, and somehow he still survives. He has been an unbelievable blue thorn in the Xenos side, and again, the Xenos team tried to take him down and just can't do it. Rask gets his 4th kill of the match, and will easily pick up Man of the Match award, and now it's just that sad moment in a match where we wait to see who picks off the last kill, and of course, it's Abraxas.
Toth and Rotbone back together, clearly trying to rewrite their legacy after last match's disaster. But wow! Did Chaos show up this time? Incredibly. That's the first Chaos team that has managed to beat an Imperial or Xenos team. I was beginning to worry that the Chaos Gods had gone back to sleep based on their performances so far in this tournament. The Xenos team had their chances, but their scattershot attacks made it look like they were auditioning for an Orc Wah instead of executing a strategy. Abraxas, though, what a survivor. That Psyker took more hits than a Chaos cultist at a disciplinary tribunal and still wouldn't go down. And Rask grabbing 4 kills? He was the real MVP here, but Abraxas getting the final blow? Poetic. Titarius Red played this one smart, slow rolling their way to a decisive victory.
Moving swiftly to match 13, the Xenos team of Salaquint takes on Tarantos' Hope 8.
This is going to be a spectacle. On one side, you've got Eldrian and Neurothrope plotting Psyker success, and on the other, you've got Celestine floating in with her angelic glow and Azrael chanting inspirational slogans. If Malgon Ra doesn't make this a bloodbath, Boss Golgorts might just wah his way to victory. Let's see if Xenos precision can outlast Imperial grit.
It's a bit of a smaller map this time, so this might well be a bloodbath. and the Imperials are not wasting time splitting left and right of the platform. It's a clean 2 versus 2 on the left and 3 versus 3 on the right. Oh, but wait, look at this. The Xenos team have quickly moved their Psychers to the left. Bellator pays for it and is quickly focused down with Morgan Ra getting the last hit. Left the Imperials floundering. They regroup though, and Certus takes down Neurothrope to level the match at 4-4. Eldrion finishes Celestine off, and Certus is dispatched by Commander Shadowsun, and now I think it's just a matter of time. Lucian and Azrael do try, but they can't finish Shadowsun off, but Morgan Ra and Shadowsun can definitely finish Azrael off.
A commanding victory.
And then Lucian loses himself to the Black Rage and charges at Shadowsun. Shadowsun falls, but Morgan Ra finishes Lucian off.
There were so many leaders on the field for the Xenos team. This was a masterclass in manipulation and repositioning. The Imperials tried to set up clean battles, but the Xenos feinted right and smashed into the left flank. Poor Bellator didn't even have time to realize he was outnumbered before Morgan Ra added him to the scoreboard. And I guess miracles don't always happen for Celestine. And maybe even the quickest result so far.
In match 14, it's the Imperials from Galifant's Bastion 4 versus the Xenos team of Oxter.
It's the greatest romance in 40,000 as we see Boss Gulgorts line up on one side and his Grodd, or favorite enemy, Yarrick, on the other side. I can't wait to see which of the mechanical oversized claws are left standing after this battle. Marneus Calgar has also probably brought half the Ultramarines Codex with him, and it's a great chance to see the parasite of Mortrex in action again.
Baraquel is not afraid and goes straight up to the Xenos, posturing his glorious Terminator armor. Well, it looked glorious, but Boss Golgorts and Shosil's drones have just cut him in 2 unbelievable hits. And that's a terrible start. Cut Skoden does nearly take Parasite out of the match, but Shosil finishes Sybil Divine for the second kill of the match. The Xenos team then gang up on the mighty Cut Skoden. Marneus Calgar throws his gauntlets of Ultramar around, finishing off the Parasite of Mortrex. Yarrick then calls in a whole troop of Cadians. The Xenos team lay fire into the Cadians, and Yarrick executes one for trying to run after seeing the rest of his squad wiped out.
That wasn't very friendly fire.
Darkstrider then finishes the last hit of Yarrick. It's only Calgar left now, and as brave as this hero is, he has no chance here, and it's Hub ND's Shosil with a final kill.
The greatest romance in 40,000, and what do we get? A Xenos massacre! Poor Barakiel didn't even get to finish admiring his own Terminator armor before it was turned into scrap. The Imperials never had a chance to recover. Marneus's gauntlets were glorious, but even they couldn't handle the tide. And Yarrick calling in Cadians for backup, only to execute one for cowardice? That's just peak Commissar energy right there. Shosil might just be the MVP of the entire tournament so far, and definitely another reason Xenos have won again.
It's the penultimate match of this first round, as we see 2 Xenos planets slugging it out. Far Have You Been take on Gizabozi.
An aquatic world facing off against an Eldar maiden paradise. It's Xenos on Xenos violence, and I couldn't be more excited. 2 Machoteps on either side sure will make it look like we have a field full of Terminator 800 series robots. Is there also 2 Calandis and Giba scraps? Or did last night's Cadian brew hit me too hard? And wait, what's Harkin World Claimer doing here with the Xenos? Did Chaos buy him a ticket to this brawl, or is he just gate crashing the party? That wild card could make this match even more unpredictable.
Parasite of Mortrex shows no fear, flying straight over the canyon and taunting the enemies to come and get him. They don't take the bait though, instead splitting their forces up into 2 parts. Athana and Harkin Wallclaimer dive deep into the backline, while the rest just set up in front of Parasite. Darkstrider is injured, and although he drops marker lights on Athana and Harkin, there's no one on his team to take advantage of that. In the meantime, Creed, Makotep has taken down Darkstrider. The rest of the Xenos try and finish off Parasite of Mortrex, but he swoops and dodges around all the bullets.
Now there are 2 Grot tanks on the field. I swear I am never drinking with Nicodemus ever again.
Parasites of Mortrex does fall to Luz Varela's Makotep, which is his second kill of the game. Then Calandis finishes off Harkin Wallclaimer. Giba Scraps runs forward. Calandis snipes him out of existence too. Makotep is next to fall to Giba Scraps, and this match is all but over. Rain Kirenin's Calandis puts on his warface, he kills Athana, but it leaves him very weakened, and Makotep gets his 3rd kill of the match, and this is over.
Gisabosi wraps this one up with a performance worthy of the battlefield, but there were probably a few confused looks from the audience. There certainly was from the commentary box. What a match. The thing that was most interesting to me was how Ethana and Harkin went down as teammates together into the enemy forces. forces. But then Ethana just abandoned Harkin to his fate and did absolutely nothing except fly around looking pretty, well, pretty useless.
And now it's the final match of the first round as the Imperials of Cadretti II take on the Xenos of Pandiculation.
This is a really interesting match because it actually has two of our returning champions in it. Laren PK and Katan 4160 were part of the team that won the first ever Deathmatch trophy. And so they will be looking to bring some more silverware because they are back together again on the same team. The luck of the draw has been very kind for them, that's for sure. But we can't count out the Imperials as they are bringing the heat with Vindicta's flames and Mephiston's psychic fury. This clash is going to be as explosive as it is unpredictable. Let's see who's walking away from this one.
The match starts with the Imperials closing the distance.
In case you are wondering if it is better to be on the green or red side, 8 wins for the Reds, 7 for the Greens. So very equal.
And there was some real fancy Mephiston footwork there as he moved Isabella out of the way. Vindicta sets fire to Jane Czar, and Thaddeus Noble bombs the Storm of Silence back to the homeworld. First blood for the Imperials. The Ark takes a pounding in the middle of the battle. Tank Smasher helps with that as he pile drives down the middle of the battlefield, splitting it in two. With so many spawns on the field, the Imperials catch their breath to take them down. The Ark falls first to Revas, and Isabella takes a beating from Wing Prime, and oh wow, Tank Smasher Squid has just eaten a near full health Vindicta. Even more incredible is that Vindicta has been revived by Isabella.
That's a real winner miracle.
I don't know about that, Creed, because she's been killed by Rebash. Isabella is then taken down by Tyrant Guard. This battle has really turned around. I just can't see any way back for the Imperials, and Wing Prime finishes off Thaddeus Noble. Mephiston takes the high ground, looking down over the hordes of Xenos charging at him, but he fails to see Tank Smasher sneak up behind him and take a chunk out of his butt. The first round is over.
Well, that has been an incredible first round and an incredible last match. Our previous champions, Laren PK and Kaitan, progress even after Kaitan's Jane Czar was wiped out. The Pandiculation team focused, relentless, and just a bit squiggly. Definitely a team to watch in the next rounds.
So who has been your favorite team so far, Creed?
My favorite planet so far? It's hard not to pick Gisabosi. Those Xenos were absolutely clinical in their takedown of Far Hyvyabin. Between Shosel dominating from the high ground and Maugon Ra proving why he's a legend, they've shown the kind of teamwork and precision that wins tournaments. If they keep that up, I'd put them as the team to watch moving forward. The other team that really impressed was Titaris Red with their incredible resilience. Rask's standout performance, combined with Rotbone's healing and Abraxas' uncanny ability to survive everything thrown at him, makes them a real powerhouse. If Chaos teams stick to that kind of cohesion, they'll be a nightmare for anyone left in the competition.
What are the statistics looking like?
There are 34 Xenos in the next round, 30 Imperials, and only 16 Chaos. In terms of the highest scoring champions from today, there are 3 champions with 4 kills. Callum Smith on Shadowson, Maxwell La Follette on Titus, and Gichismad on Rask.
Alright, and so now we can turn our attention to the next round, and that will start the draw for the last 16. Creed, can you pull the names out of the hat, please? First up we have
Malbibrius is Bastion 11,
and they will face
Kroger Vermilion.
Next up it's
Orula 3,
taking on
Cinchadar's Forge 6.
In match 3, it's
Titaris Red
against
Quines.
And match 4 will see
Bloviate
fighting
Oxter.
Match 5 is between
Gamma X
and
Zertz.
Next it's
My Tip Gizabosi.
and they're going to face
Levum 8.
Match 7 is between
Pandiculation
and
Siloquent.
And the final match we will see
Dankosira 1
fighting off against
Momon Viridian.
And well, it's been some performance here. This has been an incredibly long stream. I'm tired, Creed's tired, we're off to get some Canadian brews, and the action doesn't stop here. You can see these matches exclusively here on Friday the 27th of December at 1800 Central European Time. We'll see you here. Do not miss it.